what's up guys, this is Coach Frisbee from FAST and welcome back to our movement in November. As you've seen this week, we've been providing you guys with a lot of content of techniques and drills to help you overcome some of your acceleration abilities. So today, at the end of the week, we want to put it all together and share with you some of the drills that we do for our athletes here at FAST to help address some of those rate limiting factors in your acceleration. Today I have my man Jacob here. He's one of our high school athletes here that's going to perform these drills for you guys today. I'm going to coach him through them. You guys can just follow along, okay? All right guys, let's get started with our first drill. Now in this first drill, we're going to address two of the rate limiting factors that I spoke about earlier this week. The first one was the athlete struggling to be able to get into that initial stance and create that aggressive shin angle. And the second factor that we're going to show in this drill and address is the arm action. We talked about the double movement that takes place, athletes trying to gain that momentum. All right, so what I'm going to do is, as we get into the first drill and get into the stance, I'm going to have Jacob just put both his feet on the line, toes on the line. It's a quick introduction that we do with our athletes and get into their stance. I'm going to have him, I think his power leg is his right leg, so I'm going to have him take his left heel and line up with his right heel. There you go. Now he's just going to pivot that toe around. Got both toes facing straight. Now his feet's in place. Now from here, we want to get into that stance. And once again, this can be uncomfortable. So a really good starting point is maybe just getting into the stance and just try to get comfortable in it. All right, so I'm going to have Jacob squat down, arms back, nice and loaded, head tucked. Now I want him to start pushing that knee towards the ground to create that shin angle and start to lift that front foot, okay? And just hold. All right guys, now the second rate limiting factor that we want to address in this particular drill, just in your 2-point stance, is the arm action, okay? So I'm gonna have Jacob get back in his 2-point stance. But since we're focusing primarily on upper body, I'm not gonna let him get too aggressive into that stance. We wanna focus on the arms, all right? So he's got his face, we got front cheek, we got back butt cheek, arms back. Remember, we don't wanna move this twice. We wanna have this back and loaded. So now while he's in this position, we're just going to try to perfect the speed of these arms. He's going to be aggressive, and he's going to use that term that I mentioned earlier this week, block the sun. All right, on my command. You ready? And block! Good. We want to get this up a little bit higher. Feel that stretch reflex through here, and recover. Aggressive with your arms. Ready? Block! Good, and recover. The last other coaching point I'm going to tell him real quick, exhale on your way out, all right, as soon as you block. Ready? Block! And recover. Good. All right guys, and now we want to get into the next drill. The other rate limiting factor that I talked about earlier this week was the body control athletes struggle with coming out of their acceleration. So this drill is definitely going to be challenging because we made it a single arm movement. So rotation is going to want to take place when he starts to flex his hips. The same type of things that replicates when you take off in your acceleration that you may struggle with, okay? So I'm gonna have him get here on the wall, arm set. We're gonna go right knee up, right arm back behind, ready and loaded. And on my cue, he's just gonna switch his hips. Ready? With the double. Hit! 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 And relax. See how challenging that was for him to keep his balance and stability? All right, you wanna definitely practice this. Make sure you do both sides. Next drill is another plyometric that we wanna share with you guys. It's a horizontal plyometric. It's known as a broad jump. You guys have seen it before. But to make this similar to this actual initial start, we want to do a continuous broad jump. It's a very aggressive movement. Athletes struggle getting off the ground continuously, but it definitely help you get better in your acceleration. All right, Jake, so all I have to do is get in the squat position, get it loaded and set. Quick points here is as he hits, and each time he hits the ground, we don't want the heel hitting the ground. We want to make sure we're propelling our body forward, all right? You ready? And go. Guys, the last drill we want to share with you guys today is we call it a falling start. I love this drill because this drill can definitely replicate your acceleration. This drill can help you get into this power line. As you can see, if I hold Jacob here on his shoulders, start leaning forward, just trust me, he can start to create that power line that comes out of your initial start. By having a hurdle here, we definitely have to get that hip flexion. If we get the hip flexion, we get more height, we get more power on our first step, okay? That's why the hurdle's there. So I'm gonna have Jacob get in place here. We go about a foot off the hurdle, feet about hip width apart. He wants to be nice and relaxed, keep his body nice and stiff. As he leans forward, keeping his chin tucked, he's gonna get into that power line and start to work on that force production of his first and second and third step. Just watch. Nice. All right, guys, so the goal here is the power line and the force production, all right? All right, guys, I hope you like those drills that we just showed you guys. I want to thank Jacob for participating He's a really great athlete here in the Winchester area. He does a great job. He's a football player that's looking to have a really outstanding season coming up. All right, so I want to thank him, and I look forward to next week, guys. Like, this week ends up our acceleration. Next week, we're going to get into absolute speed, working on that top end speed. So be on the lookout for all the content, and hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned, and remember, don't just be an athlete, be a fast athlete.